Hello everyone, I am Dr. Garima Gupta, Assistant Professor at Sri Ram Sarup University, Lucknow. So today we will be discussing about the process of fertilization. Till now we have discussed about the gametogenesis. Gametogenesis has two very important processes. First is spermatogenesis and the other one is oogenesis. So in spermatogenesis the formation of sperm takes place, and while in oogenesis formation of ova takes place. And till now we came to know that the maturation of sperm and ova takes place during fertilization only. So fertilization is a very important process. Now we will discuss what is fertilization. Fertilization is the process in which two sex cells or the gametes fuse together to create a new individual. So when a sperm and ova fuses, then it forms the zygote, and this zygote leads to the formation of a new individual. The function of fertilization is mainly to transmit the genes from parents to offspring, and the second one is to initiate the reactions in egg cytoplasm so that the development can start and it can further lead to the formation of a new individual. Now, fertilization can vary from species to species and mainly consists of four major events. The first one is recognition between sperm and egg. Then the second one is regulation of sperm entry into the egg. The third one is fusion of genetic material of sperm and egg. Then finally, the activation of egg metabolism to start the further development. The recognition of sperm and egg is a very important process in which, first of all, the sperm enters into the female body, and then the egg releases certain kinds of soluble molecules which are responsible for attracting the sperm towards the egg. Now, the next step which takes place is removal of acrosome cap. So, acrosome cap is released from the sperm, and now the sperm get matures, after which the binding of sperm takes place with the outer layer of egg. The outer layer of egg is zona pellucida. So, the sperm acrosomal enzymes dissolve the zona pellucida layer. Now sperm can enter inside the egg. Till now the egg or the ova has not formed. After the fusion only, the secondary oocyte, which has been stuck at metaphase 2 of meiosis 2, will start, and now this will complete the meiosis 2 and it will be converted into ova, and the second polar body would be released. After this, the fusion of sperm or male pronuclei takes place with the female pronuclei, and after the fusion the formation of zygote takes place. Later on, after the formation of zygote, various metabolic activities takes place for the development of a new individual, which we will discuss later. Now, there are certain molecules which are present in sperm, and they act as a key molecule which is responsible for the fusion between the sperm and egg. These molecules acts as a receptor molecules, and their receptors are present on the surface of zona pellucida. So these molecules get attracted towards the receptor present on the egg membrane, and from where the fusion of or the attraction of sperm and egg takes place, and due to these receptors there occurs a binding between the sperm and egg, and this further leads to the future steps or the further steps of fertilization. So these membrane glycoproteins present on the surface of oocyte or the sperm are very important for the fusion purpose. During sexual intercourse, a man produces billions of sperms in the semen, and these billions of sperm enters into the vagina through clitoris. In the vagina, most of the sperms get die due to the acidic environment of vagina, although many of them survive due to certain protective elements present in the fluid, and these sperms travel towards the cervical mucus, and from cervix they enter into the uterus part, and from uterus they reaches further to the fallopian tube. In fallopian tube there are two regions which are important. First is isthmus region and the other one is ampulla region. These are the two parts of oviduct. Till now, the movement of sperm has occurred due to the contraction of uterus or due to various muscular contractions. Till now, the motility of sperm is not linked to the flagella of sperm. The contraction of uterus mainly takes place due to the production of two hormones, that is oxytocin and prostaglandins. So, this was the story of reaching of sperm fallopian tube of female. Now, secondary oocyte reaches in the fallopian tube by the action of fimbriae. Actually, the ovary releases the secondary oocyte during the process of ovulation. At approximately 14 days of menstrual cycle, secondary oocyte is released from the ovary, and then this is taken by the fimbriae of fallopian tubes, and from there the secondary oocyte reaches to the ampullar region of oviduct. The ampullar region of oviduct is quite dilated, while the isthmus region is somewhat narrow in appearance. When a sperm observes a secondary oocyte in the fallopian tube, it gets activated. Actually, there are certain soluble molecules which are released by the egg which acts as a chemoattractant for sperm. So, sperm moves towards the secondary oocyte and secondary oocyte also moves towards the sperm, and the fertilization mainly occurs in the junction region of isthmus and ampulla. Here the first process of fertilization start taking place, that is the maturation of sperm, called as capacitation. Now we have discussed about the basic information of fertilization, and now in the next lecture we will see that how a sperm and egg get mature and finally they get fertilized. So the next lecture would be the fertilization part 2. Thank you very much for your patience.